Hey everyone, Craige Campbell here, and welcome to this new video. This is a step-by-step guide to transforming your finances in just 6 months. Yes, it could happen. So whether you are struggling each and every month with budgeting or debt, or maybe it just feels like money is just slipping through your hands each and every month, if that's the case, this video is for you. By the end of this video, I hope you'll have a clear, actionable plan to regain control of your money, maybe build a foundation of long-term financial success. That's the goal. So grab a notepad and let's get started. So let's get into month one. Month one, define your financial life. So forget what your neighbors are doing and what your friends are doing and how they're living. What kind of life do you want to have? Let me explain what I mean by that. When you think about your personal relationships, your fitness, your experiences, your travel, or just regular conveniences like food delivery or airport lounge, what if any of these things are important to you? Take a moment and make a list of the things that are most important to you, from most to least. Once you've done this, let that vision sink in for a moment and making a commitment to stop spending that money in areas that are not important to you. If you really don't want to, go to the gym, for example, it's not really your thing, then quit your membership. If you think your SUV is too big, especially when you're trying to park and reverse, well, maybe make a plan to sell it and get something that's more reasonable, something that's maybe more practical. Now, once you've defined your financial life, now we need to define the next step in month one, and that is knowing your numbers. After all, you can't fix what you don't track. You can download my tracker right below. Take a moment to calculate your home pay each and every month from all your sources. Now we're going to look at the 50-30-20 rule, and I'll explain as we go. The first thing you have to do is make a list of all of your expenses, starting with your needs, or what some may call your fixed costs. Exactly 50% of your take-home pay should go to this category, 50%. So you're looking at things like rent, property taxes, your mortgage payments, your minimum payments for your debts, utilities, charity. These are the things that you just can't miss each month, okay? The next category is your wants. Now, this is an area where a lot of people, it's probably 40, 50, 60% of your income. And this has to change if you really want to be financially stable in 6 months from now, okay? So here's the rule, and here's how you're going to do it. Here's how you're going to keep your wants to 30%. So this would be things like entertainment, dining, shopping, things like that. That makes up that remaining 30%, and that's where you want to stay. Try your best to stick to these percentages. I know it might be difficult at first, but this is your goal. This is your striving goal that you're looking towards getting to financial freedom. Track your income, track your expenses, and do this for at least 30 days. And to help you, there is a tracker, if you look below, that you can download and use to help you stay within those proper target percentages. The next category is your investments and savings. Now notice that I broke them up into two different parts because they serve different things. Savings, for example, are short-term goals. Investments are long-term goals. Makes sense, right? Properly thinking about it now, think about savings is something you're putting money aside for your next vacation, where investments, you're putting money aside for your retirement. They're two very necessary things, but they have different investment goals, different vehicles, different rate of return. They're different things. Now in this category, you want to allocate 20% of your take-home pay, with 10% going towards each. So keep this in mind as a goal or a guideline. If 2% is all you can come up with right now, that's fine. You want to increase this over time as you're able to. Be disciplined, and this can grow over time, and you can get to the allocated 10% in each side, savings and investment, 20% overall. Now this is just a baseline, and when you calculate your net income, that is income minus expenses, what is left? Use this money to pay down your debt or put some of it into savings within the established percentages that we've just talked about, and identify any areas of wasteful spending. As you find even more surplus, distribute this money into high interest debt and then savings as needed. Okay, so we've covered month one. Now on to month two. Build your contingency plan, month two. Build your emergency fund to at least $1,000. Do everything you can to get to at least 3 months of your expenses in an account at the highest guaranteed rate possible, and don't touch that money unless it's absolutely an emergency, okay? That is one of the biggest things a lot of people know, to have an emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, but they build it up and then they take it back out. And they build it up and they take it back out, and they keep spending on their credit cards and building their debt. They're going in the wrong direction, okay? This will not be you. So again, your goal is to build at least 3 months of expenses in an account at the highest rate of return. Maybe over time, once your debts are paid down, you can get to 6 months or 12 months. Wouldn't it be great if you had 12 months of income, that if you lost your job, or if you felt you had to walk away from your job, you have a year amount of income put aside to do whatever you want to do? Maybe starting a new business and not having that pressure behind you to get things going or to find a new job because you have that money set aside. So 3 months to start, and build to 6 months and even beyond over time if you choose. But 3 months is the minimum, starting with getting your first $1,000 in your emergency fund, okay? Next, cancel unused subscriptions and reduce impulse spending. This is really important. And then add that money to this fund. Next, confront high interest debt. Keep in mind that the minimum payment on your credit card is usually interest plus maybe 1% or so. And you probably see it on your statement. If you just pay that minimum amount every single month, well, it'll be sometimes hundreds of years before you get out of debt. So this will not be you. You want to assess your debt by listing all your debt, all your credit card loans, etc., the interest rates and the minimum payment. Again, that is on the tracker that's below that you can download for free, okay? And you can track all of these things easily. I really want you to see debt as a weight, and it's time to lift that weight off your shoulders. The other thing, of course, you want to pay off that debt. Now that you know what you're owing and what the percentage rates are and the minimum payments are, now you want to pay off that debt as quickly as possible. And there's 2 methods in which you can do that. 2 methods. Now, the first one is the snowball method. You pay off the smallest debt first, and that will give you some quick wins. Many like this approach because they feel they can see the progress happening faster because they're paying off one debt at a time. One debt and it's gone. The second method is the avalanche method. In this way, you're paying off the high interest rate debt first, and that way you're saving money. Using this method may seem like it's taken longer, as you will not see the quick wins of paying off a whole debt completely. However, you will end up paying less interest dollars over time. So a lot of people choose this method. The other thing you can do is negotiate lower interest rates. Call your credit card companies and request lower rates. The worst thing they can say is no. It never hurts to try. You see, many of these companies, they have lower rates or card options available, so you won't get them unless you ask for them. Another thing you can do is consider balance transfers. You've seen them, you get them in the mail or email, and you can transfer amounts, larger amounts of a credit card that you owe with a high interest to other credit cards or other lines of credit that have a lower interest. Sometimes there's an initial fee of 1 to 3% up front, but if you do the calculations, it might actually be a good benefit for you. So that's another thing you could do. Doing so could save you hundreds of dollars in interest over time. The other thing, of course, you can redirect budget surplus to your debt payments. So every time you do your budget and then you see that there's a little bit more money that you have left over, allocate that money to reduce your debts even more. Remember, every dollar that you have and you put towards debt really can help you in terms of your financial freedom and your financial goal, okay? Now we move on to month 3. And month 3 is to automate everything. You can't really automate in the beginning because you need to know what your numbers are. You need to know where you are in terms of your spending, your income, your debts, all those things. But once you get to month 3, now you're automating everything. Now, automating everything really helps in multiple ways. First of all, most people hate budgeting. So if you automate things, you won't really have to look at your budget that often because everything is taken care of it by itself. The other thing, of course, is you won't miss a date. So a lot of people are just not good with their finances because the thought of going through statements, looking at emails, looking at their calendar and putting everything together, it can be overwhelming. But if you automate it, everything just comes out of your bank account, right to your debt, right to your payments, right to your expenses, and you never have to worry about things. You just tweak things as you need to. So it makes it much, much easier when you automate, all right? So be free to automate payments to your savings, your investments, your debt payments every month. Never be late for any of your payments, of course, and ensure that the money goes out onto your debts, usually 3 days before the due date. That way you'll never be late. Here's another little debt tip, and I think this is really, really good. A lot of my clients use this every month. And that tip is, why not consider putting a little bit more towards your debt every single paycheck, as opposed to just having one single payment a couple days before it's due? Here's the benefits of doing it this way. First, let's say that you do the calculations, you do your budget, your payment plan, and you figure that you have about $600 left over after you've done everything. Your minimum payment for a particular credit card is, say, $300. Why not pay, instead of $300 one time, pay $250 towards your credit card with each paycheck, right? That way you're not only covering the minimum payment, but you're also making an extra payment in the same month to knock down the principal and interest. Much the same as many people are paying right now their mortgage bi-weekly instead of monthly, to knock down the interest and hit more towards principal. You can do the same thing with your credit card. It makes a world of difference. All right, so that is month 3. Now we move on to month number 4. And month number 4 is find extra cash. Find extra cash and increase your income. For example, sell unused items. Look around your home, check your closets, your basements, your garage. I know you have things you haven't used in years. Everybody does. And you think, one day I'll use it. Accept the truth. You're not going to use it. Get rid of it. Sell it. Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Kijiji, whatever it might be. Sell it. Somebody else will be thankful for your junk. All right? Get rid of it. Just accept the fact you won't use it, sell it for cash, and then use that cash to further accelerate your debt payments, right? Knocking down all that debt with all those payments. Maybe put a little to your savings or both. Next, take on a side hustle. Like, think about it. What are you good at? What do you want to learn? There are so many things, so many ideas. If properly harnessed, you can make a good side income that can now eventually replace your current or main job. Think about it. Start with freelancing, maybe tutoring, delivery services, online businesses. If none of these things resonate with you, just drop me a link and maybe we can brainstorm together and think of ideas that would be suited for you. Another thing you can do is invest in upgrading your skills. Take courses, get certifications that boost your earning potential. This could be for positions within your current company or positions that maybe you have been thinking about that are outside of your company. There's so many endless ideas. Investigate them for you. Next, always look for ways to reduce discretionary spending as much as you can go, right? Keep on going. Here's another thing, and this is one area that's overlooked by so many people. Negotiate everything. And I mean everything. All the money that you're spending on purchases, especially high ticket purchases, buying your car, buying your home, negotiate everything. It might be a little bit harder to negotiate, say, a utility bill or your mortgage. I get that. But don't just take face value, whatever that dollar figure is, and just pay it blindly. There's always room in many cases, there is room for negotiation just about everywhere. Even your credit cards, I think I talked about that before. There are different rates and fees on credit cards. Call the companies, negotiate those things. How about those mysterious charges that come up on your cell phone bills or your internet or your cable, right? Just don't accept them. Many cases you can call and speak to somebody and you can have those charges waived or reduced or even refunded back to you in many cases. Negotiate everything. Now, there's one more area I need to touch on that many people overlook altogether, and that is negotiating a pay raise. If you're like many, if you can just increase your pay by, let's say, $5,000 a year, it can make a significant impact on your financial life. Sadly, many people don't even consider negotiating for a raise or go about it the wrong way, and then they're disappointed because they get denied. Here are some tips that really help you get that pay raise that you deserve. First thing, you got to research your market value. Look at Glassdoor and other resources to find out what a person in your field and your experience and your title should be earning. Also, as you work at your current job, document your accomplishments and the value that you bring to the company. Next, prepare a solid case. Put all of the information together and create a solid case of why you deserve that raise. You can't just walk into your boss's office and say, I deserve a raise because I've been here for X amount of time. Or Sally got a raise, so I should get one too. Or I just want to get paid more money because I think I deserve it. That's probably not going to get you the raise as much as you maybe believe that it will. So please don't do those things. You must have a solid argument for getting your raise. So keep in mind that most corporations, they pay you just enough so you won't quit. So it's your job, not anyone else's, but your job to make your boss and your company see that you are invaluable. Take the time and build your case. Prepare, rehearse your argument before you approach your manager. Now, in any negotiation, you must ask for more than what you would comfortably accept. If you would be comfortable, for example, with $5,000 as a raise, if you ask for $5,000 and get it, you might walk away thinking, man, I should have asked for more. But if you ask for, say, $12,000 and your manager agrees to $7,000, well, not only are you way ahead, but they feel that they've won. So it's a win-win situation. And that's what any negotiation should be. It should be a win-win proposition. Now, if this tactic doesn't work and your company doesn't give you the raise, even the minimum that you were expecting, well, it could be there might be another job out there for you. You need to start looking and get a job that pays you for what you're worth. So now we go on to month number 5. We're getting there. Month number 5. Long-term wealth building. This is where financial security is the main goal. It has to be the main goal. So you start by investing if you haven't before, and if you are investing or have invested in the past, focus on low-risk investment vehicles, okay? Slow and steady. That's what wins the race. Those high-flying stocks, great when they go to the moon, as they say, but when they don't, what happens to your financial plans? Everything gets thrown out the window. So I have no problem with stocks. In fact, I invest some of my money in stocks, but most of my money is invested in secure places with guaranteed double-digit rates with little fluctuation because I want my money to grow. Even more important, as you get closer to retirement, you don't want your money to be fluctuating up and down every single day. ETFs are something I highly recommend, and I also have a secret weapon that I will share a little bit later. Next, you need to protect those finances. You have followed all these steps for the past 5 months now. So after the last few months, what if a catastrophe was to happen of some kind and erase all of the progress you've made? You need to get that right insurance like health insurance, life, disability, and you need to get a will and an estate plan. You need to protect yourself. You need to maintain financial discipline and continue budgeting and tracking your expenses and keep those goals front and center. right? They're not something you just kind of put off or pull out of a drawer every once in a while, right? This is something that's really important. This is your financial future we're talking about. Okay, and lastly, in month 5, if you work for a company that has a matching investment plan, be sure to max out on that plan every single month as soon as you can. This is like free money that can hugely accelerate your retirement fund. Don't forget to invest also in your personal tax-free accounts as well, because now your money can grow there tax-free, and you don't want to be giving more money to the government than you don't have to. Take control of your money, because remember, no one's going to care about your money more than you do. So if you don't care about your money, then the future might not look so bright, okay? So keep that in mind. Now we're moving on to last month, month number 6. And this is the month where we scale up and we celebrate our wins. 5 months of hard work. Now we just want to review our numbers, make adjustments where needed. Be sure to do a thorough 6-month review to track your progress. You need to know where you started and where you currently are. What is your vision? What is your plan? Has that changed? Have you saved the amount that you wanted to, that you plan to? Has your debt reduced the way that you wanted to? Is your vision the same? Has anything changed in terms of your perspective? Go through that budget, go through your plan, and make sure you're sticking to the basics each month. And consider that each successful month, in order to have a successful month, you must have consistent days within each of those months. So yes, you might go off track from time to time, but when you're automating things, when you're looking at your actual plan each and every month, you're gonna be in a really good place. But on the 6th month, that's when you're going to take the time to be really, really fine-tooth combing everything to make sure you're on target, because your future is waiting for you. Just take things one step at a time and review your progress regularly, okay? Whenever needed, make adjustments, make changes. And there you have it. A simple step-by-step 6-month plan to take control of your finances. The key to success is consistency. So even small steps can make a huge impact over time. Now I want to hear from you. Which step do you think you need the most help with? Drop me a comment below. And if you found this video valuable, be sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to share, because somebody else may be able to benefit from the information we share here today. Lastly, if you need more guidance, click on the link below for my free budgeting tool. It's a free little ebook. There's also resources, coaching to help you speed along your path to financial independence. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.